first time that I met you, it was one of my first NAMM shows, and I was like,
I think it was your first.
yeah, and I was, people didn't know who Chase Bliss was, so like they come by, and I could just tell that when I was explaining to the person that was responsible for bringing on new brands, it just wasn't landing, and then all of a sudden you started talking about my pedals, and I was
I
like,
remember that.
I know this guy is like special from the get-go, because I just like I say all the bad things about or like whatever, and the way you talked about the pedals, and it was all correct, and painting them in the light that they should be painted in, and then they ended up placing an order. We did really well there, and I always just thought of you as like, that's my guy,
Thanks,
because you're just so naturally. Is like, okay, that guy not only knows how to talk about this thing, but he knows everything about every pedal. He loves this stuff. And then I think like we were hanging out later, and like you showed me a pic of your board. I'm like, yeah, yeah, because it was like my board.
Yeah.
But for me, when I did this, I just thought like, there's plenty of places that sell like the usual stuff. Like I love all these other brands, and I really want people to really kind of, I want to put them in front of people.
Yeah.
Usually we get one or two reactions when people come in here for the first time and see what kind of guitars we have. It's either, I never heard of this, or holy shit, I can't believe you have this. I stock stuff that I like, and I don't know of anybody crazier than me with stuff like this, so that's my business model.
Yeah. Yeah. If you say, hey Joel, I gotta show you this thing, I'm immediately interested. And I think a lot of people have that relationship with you where they trust your taste, they trust you. They know if you're excited about something that it's worth taking a look at,
The brands that we have here that do exceptionally well, the stuff that we've curated are all things that I absolutely love. So most of the stuff in here is like stuff we spec'd out. I mean, obviously, except for the used PRS and the used Jag, but.
What is this?
Oh, dude, that's my slowly melting. My double melt from Evan from Dirge made it for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, like
what does it do?
It takes that lo-fi delay chip that a lot of people use and basically tortures and mangles the shit out of it.
Okay.
It's a fuzz, it's a delay, it does crazy modulation. It's an instrument of itself. You ever play one of those old 4MS noise swashes?
No. There's obviously lots of guitars, lots of pedals. We're doing an event here today.
So when we started our YouTube channel back in 2019, MOOD was the first pedal I tried on harp, and I didn't really know what I was doing, like at all, but it still sounded great, which is the wild thing about it. It still sounded amazing.
It sounded like we knew what we were doing,
Yeah.
but not at all. And it kind of speaks to how accessible it was.
I did that. It's really cool, yeah.
We didn't decide MOOD MKII would be next. Tom just went and did some stuff, and I was like, okay, let's do that.
Like I remember the day, I think you told me, like Tom kind of made a stereo mock-up of MOOD, and I was like, what? Like, is this some sick joke? Because that sounds like the best news ever.
So I love doing events here and I love doing shows here. I mean, Data Choir's been here a bunch, Andy's played here a bunch. I just had Matt Talbot from Hum play here, do a solo show. It was crazy. This is Joel, he owns Chase Blitz. This is Mike, he's mentor, huge friend. And my regulars, I'm so lucky. I had one guy who brought me 20 guitars of his to sell when we opened. And he sold them all and used all that. He didn't want a check, he just wanted store credit. And they ended up buying like a couple Frank Brothers built.
So it seems like you have a community of people around you that like really believe in you, and which makes sense, and are wanting to contribute to this place in some way to help make it as great as it is.
I owe my community all the credit in the world. When I told Joel that I was opening a shop, he said, we haven't opened up a dealer in 3 years. We're way oversold, but for you, absolutely. And for us to still be carrying his stuff after us being only one of two in the whole country to have that, it's overwhelming, you know, so thank you.